Morning,
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Mrs. Ellis. Mrs. Ellis, if you can raise your right hand. I swear the testimony you're about to give should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Let me just pull this up. I'm just trying to remind myself which one we're on. Okay, this was set, I guess a week ago, and we had the wrong time, or you had the wrong, somebody had the wrong time, so we're resetting.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, Mrs. Gonzalez, did you got a copy of the motion for summary judgment?
Yes, I did.
Did you respond to it?
I did, Your Honor.
A written response?
Yes.
Okay, let me see if I can find it. 1 second. I see an answer where you, okay, I don't see a response to it. Am I missing something?
Your Honor, there's certainly an answer to the lawsuit, but we did not receive any response to the motion for summary judgment.
Okay, Ms. Gonzalez, it's a little different. Did you respond to the motion for summary judgment?
Okay, then I'm a bit confused, Your Honor. I don't believe I did.
Okay. You received a copy of it.
This whole document?
It's difficult to see what you're holding up. I don't know what notice of hearing. What's underneath it? Is the motion?
Yes, the plaintiff motion for summary judgment.
Okay. What would you like to state in response to it?
I have no problem. Okay, first of all, it was an accident that I was in, and so insurance paid the majority of it, of the vehicle was totaled. I kept going back and forth with the GAP insurance. I don't think that was ever resolved. I did have that GAP insurance. I did talk to somebody at Teachers Federal Credit Union. I was not able to make the full payment. I was willing to make much lower payments since I had to purchase another vehicle for work. But I mean, they wouldn't accept the payment. They said I would need to give a little bit more. I'm not able to. Like I said, I'm not denying making a payment. I can make a payment. I just cannot make that amount of payment.
Okay. Thank you. I'm not too concerned with the amount of your payment. You're not, tell me if I'm right or wrong, you're not disputing that you owe the amount, is that correct?
Well, I don't know, Your Honor, because I was under the impression that GAP insurance should have kicked in and covered the remaining balance.
Okay. Regardless of GAP insurance, are you disputing the amount is owed to, El Paso Area Teachers Federal Credit Union?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Okay, so the amount of the suit is for $4,604.60, which you're not disputing. Right. That amount is owed. Right? It could be GAP insurance covering it. You're responsible for it, but you're not disputing the amount. Okay.
Right.
Okay. And then we have of attorney's fees. Mr. Beltran, you have attorney's fees, correct?
Your Honor, there was an affidavit submitted requesting $1,500 in attorney's fees.
Okay, Mrs. Gonzalez, do you have any response or any questions about the attorney's fees?
Other than I don't have the money to pay for it, no, Your Honor, I don't.
Okay. Okay, well, again, I understand that your ability to pay might be, you may not have that at this point in time, but that's not the issue before the court today. The issue is before is whether you owe the money and then whether they were forced to expend attorney's fees in order to reduce this to a judgment. I find that the amount is owed, and then I find that the amount of the attorney's fees is owed. So I'm going to sign a judgment in the amount of the $4,064. I'm not sure exactly the amount. I don't have it before me, plus the attorney's fees. Mr. Beltran, I think you submitted that, correct? Or we have a judgment?
It has been submitted, Judge.
Okay, mine's here. Let me just find it and we'll. Ms. Gonzalez, do you have any questions?
I don't know where to proceed from here as far as making payments or anything like that.
Mr. Beltran, who does she need to contact?
Sure, Ms. Gonzalez, you can contact my office and ask for Cecilia Morales.
Okay.
Okay. or Cecilia Morales, however you want to say it. It's 915-603-3166. Okay.
Okay.
And just for your peace of mind, once we get the judgment, we will. At first, it's not going to be peace of mind, but then when you hear me out, once we get the judgment, we file what's called an abstracted judgment in the county records. That creates what's called a judgment lien. Okay. If you ever try and sell property, real property or something like that, it will pop up, and credit card companies will see that there's a judgment against you. Okay. But we don't actively, the TFCU, once they get the judgment in the lien, they don't ask us to start trying to collect on you or anything like that. Obviously, they want to collect, and they appreciate if you call in and see about trying to make some payments to pay off the debt. They're much more willing to work. My experience is they're much more willing to work with you once the judgment has been obtained. Once there's no dispute about how much is owed, they're much more willing to work with you, okay? And so if you'll call Cecilia, ask for Cecilia Morales in my office, she can direct you from there and what you can or can't do, who you need to speak to if she can't handle it directly, okay?
Thank you.
You're very welcome. I know these things are not easy to deal with, and you're not a lawyer. You're at a disadvantage. I understand, okay? So I just want to give you a little bit of peace of mind on this, all right?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Not a problem.
Thank you, Mr. Beltran.
Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Gonzalez, so that concludes it. I'm going to end the meeting, and happy holidays. Thank you all.
Likewise.